I'm Brianna Kelly here talking with Principal Smith about the new lateness policy. So what is the current lateness policy?
Well, the current lateness policy is very similar to one that we had in the past, but all we've done is sort of change the system. So the policy is sort of intact, it's just the system and how we're handling students that come in late to school.
Okay, and what are some of the new steps?
Well, the new steps are, last year we just had teachers mark students late, and we sort of had delayed consequences, and a lot of time the system didn't allow for those consequences even to take effect. And we don't have the system in place just for consequences. We want to be able to fix the problem. Because ultimately we want everyone here in his chair by 7:28, ready to learn each and every day.
Okay, and if not followed, what are some of the consequences?
Well, some of the consequences are, well, first is a warning. The second one is, a detention. And then after that, we sort of ramp it up a little bit. We still sort of go with the detention model because we don't want people not in school for being late to school. So we involve the counselors, we involve the lead teachers, and we also involve our student assistance program.
Okay, and is the consequences different for students who have IDs and students who don't?
No, we think that, we believe that IDs are something you need to enter the building, just like a pencil, a pen, a book. And so in order to enter the building and enter on time, everyone needs to have an ID. In the 21st century, unfortunately, we have to really keep a close eye on safety and security, and it's our number one priority. We need to know every person, who they are in this building at all times. And so an ID is one thing that we can check at the door to make sure everyone is in fact belongs in the building.
I know we don't have IDs yet. Mm-hmm. Once we get them, will anything change or will it be the same?
No, we created, our security team created the paper IDs and they color coded them with names. They'll be replaced starting tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday with our regular plastic picture IDs. So what we'll do is we'll eventually, for like another week, we will accept the paper and the photo IDs, eventually phasing out the paper IDs and accepting only a photo ID.
Okay, and are things different for people who are coming late to the building and late to first period?
Anyone that's coming late to the building as of 8:15, it's the same as being late to first period. We open the doors. We've been opening the doors at about 7:16, and our first period starts at 7:28. So right now we're handling everyone until 8:15 about the same. If you're later than that, then we have to look at sort of ramping up the consequences, because at that point you've missed an entire first period, so it becomes a class cut, and that's an illegal absence. So after a certain time, it's going to be ramped up because you've missed an entire period.
Okay, and when is it considered an excused lateness?
An excused lateness is essentially a note from your parents or your guardian, or your parent or your guardian walking you into the building and explaining why. We can't accept like alarm clock or the power went out. Doctor's appointments, family commitments, things of that nature. We're pretty lenient as long as we have a note from a parent and we can consider it excused.
So if you wake up late in the morning but your parent does walk you in, will it be counted as excused?
Probably the first time, yes, it would be excused. But it's critical that we either have a note or the parent coming into the attendance office.
Okay, and will time be adjusted to fit the lateness policy?
No, we had initially the first couple days we had some issues getting everyone into school on time. And some of the reasons is that we were asking students to take off their hats, take down their hoods, put their technology away. So what we did was we opened a couple extra doors, and we were able to have everyone into the building last Thursday, Friday, and this past Monday in 4 minutes. So if we open the doors at 16 and we have everyone that's talking about the form in stairwell 4, everyone in the building in 4 minutes. Right now we're just sort of dealing with the stragglers and mostly the people that were parking in the parking lot. So we've been asking them to remind them. And on Monday, there was not one person that came in late out of the parking lot, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
It's awesome.
So for the people who do get stuck up at the door for somebody, say, going into their book bag, and they end up being late, the people behind them, what does it happen to them?
Well, hopefully that's not going to happen. If we can get everyone into the building in 4 minutes, that should not be an issue. If there's something going on with the system that we have in place, we'll make adjustments, and we're never going to penalize anyone if it's not their own fault. If it's something that we're doing, it's going to be on us, and we'll try to fix it.
Okay, and do you have any advice for people who would come in late?
Well, obviously, just get to school on time. If you're, if the buses are late, we have a system in place where we would issue everyone a pass. So far, we've had no late buses. None of our buses have come late. They're always here before we open the doors. And we just need to get people on time and get started on time. Last year, the lateness was way too high. So we looked at various systems and we put this system in place, and it seems to be having a very significant impact right now.
Okay, and the new policy, does that have to do with the scheduling at all?
It does a little bit, yeah. We eliminated homeroom, and so that actually, by eliminating homeroom, it added about 20 extra instructional hours into our school year, which is great. But we were thinking about eliminating homeroom the prior year, but we wanted to, again, we put another system in place. We wanted to look at it, and we talking to a lot of our chronic lateness students and families, they didn't see the significance or the impact of homeroom. Now, some clubs and activities, it affected them because they used that time to have their meetings, but hopefully they were able to look at the bigger picture and understand that that was what was best for most. So as long as we can continue down this path of getting people here on time, getting them in seats ready to learn by 7:28, then everything's going to be good.
So what's your expectation for this year with the latenesses?
Expectation for this year, I'd like to have, with a school of 1,800 people, it would be great if I said 0. I think that's an unachievable goal. But if we could have 15 or fewer latenesses a day, I think that's a very attainable goal.
All right, well, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just want to have a great year, and I appreciate you taking the time.
All right, well, thank you for being here. I'm Brianna Kelly here talking with Principal Smith about the lateness policy. Now back to the Eagle's Eye.